You know, some matchups, they just feel pre-written. It's Goliath versus David, the champion against the long shot. But every once in a while, the script gets completely torn to shreds. So today, let's break down one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Baseball Classic. So, what could possibly happen in a single baseball game to make a guy who played 13 years in the big leagues, a World Series champion, say that? Well, the answer is a wild, stunning turn of events that absolutely nobody saw coming. Okay, to really get this upset, you first have to understand the giant they were up against. Before this game, Team USA wasn't just feeling confident. No, they were seen as, well, pretty much unstoppable.
I mean, just look at this team. We're talking about the defending champions, the hands-down favorite to win the whole thing. The lineup was just absolutely stacked with MVPs, All-Stars, and guys who are basically a lock for the Hall of Fame. They were, without a doubt, the Goliath of this tournament.
And that feeling of, yeah, we've got this, it came straight from the top. Just a few hours before the game, the manager, Mark DeRosa, went on MLB Network and said it with complete certainty. Our ticket's punched to the quarterfinals. That wasn't a hope. He was treating it like a fact.
While their ticket was not punched. In fact, by the time the night was over, their entire tournament fate would be hanging by a very, very thin thread, completely out of their own control.
So what in the world happened here? How did David not just beat Goliath, but completely overwhelm him right from the get-go? It all started with an absolute onslaught. And this is where you really see the mismatch. On one side, you've got Team USA, this constellation of superstars. And on the other, Team Italy, a really gritty, scrappy squad of American pros who all have Italian heritage. They were the clear underdogs. Seriously, no one gave them a shot. And then the barrage began. It started in the second inning. Boom, a solo shot from Teel. Then, just a few moments later, bam, a 2-run homer from Sam Antonacci. Then, in the fourth, Caglianone just crushes another one and tops it off with an absolutely legendary bat flip. Italy just wouldn't stop. They were capitalizing on every single mistake. Before Team USA could even figure out what hit them, the scoreboard read 8-0, 8-0. The powerhouse, the defending champs, were in a massive, massive hole against a team that everybody had already written off. But hey, you can never count out a team packed with superstars, right? Down 8 runs, the Giant finally started to wake up. The comeback attempt was furious, and for a few innings there, it really felt like the natural order of things might actually be restored. The rally kicked off in the 6th with a homer from Gunnar Henderson. Then, Crow-Armstrong came up with a massive 3-run shot in the 7th. An RBI single in the 8th made it even closer. And then, Crow-Armstrong homers again in the 9th. All of a sudden, the impossible felt possible. The gap was closing fast.
But it all came down to this. The tying run was at the plate. And who's up? One of the most feared hitters on the entire planet. Team USA's captain, Aaron Judge. The whole game was on the line, and he struck out.
And that was it. The final score, Italy 8, USA 6. The impossible had happened. David had won. You can just imagine, for Italy, it was pure, absolute elation. But for Team USA, a total, stunning reality check. This wasn't just a loss. It threw their entire tournament into complete chaos. And this brings us right back to that quote from the beginning. This is one of the best days of my life. You can just feel the emotion and the pride in Francisco Cervelli's words. His team of underdogs didn't just win. They played with the composure and the heart of seasoned veterans on the world's biggest stage. Because with this loss, things got complicated. Team USA's destiny, suddenly, it wasn't in their own hands anymore. Their chance to advance to the next round now depended entirely on the outcome of a different game, one between Italy and Mexico. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky, so stick with me here. If Italy goes on to beat Mexico, Team USA is in. Simple enough. But if Mexico wins, it all comes down to a really complex tiebreaker based on how many runs are scored. If Mexico wins and scores 5 or more runs, the US is safe, they advance. But if Mexico wins and scores 4 or fewer runs, the defending champions are out, eliminated. You know, team captain Aaron Judge really summed it up perfectly. They had their destiny right there, in their own hands, and they let it slip away. Now, this unbelievable, star-studded roster, the tournament favorite, was basically reduced to just sitting around, hoping for a little bit of luck. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? On the biggest stage, with all this national pride on the line, what truly decides who wins and who loses? Is it a roster that's just overflowing with unmatched talent? Or is it the unpredictable, unbelievable magic that can only happen in a single game?